Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island All-Stars Season 2, Episode 2.
I did my homework, guys.
Ooh.
Shout out to our UK family. I'm excited, as well as Blair, to start this show with y'all. Hopefully, the United States of America people can catch up once they release the episodes tomorrow. I did my homework about Marcel. All right. Found out about his wife. I think her name was Rebecca. And she cheated on him with Slim Jimmy. Pretty sad. He was devastated and things of that nature. She even came out with a whole Instagram post apologizing for embarrassing him, the family, her family. So that kind of gives me more of a background of like where his mental's at. You get what I'm saying? I look at him differently now and things of that nature. And I guess what, I'm still going to be doing my homework on the backgrounds of some of these folks and things of that nature. But I'm excited about this episode. I have some predictions that has no type of credence.
Okay.
No type of facts, but it's only the second episode. Blair, walk us through this.
Okay, so Ekin-su chooses the three guys to take this to the secret garden.
Yep.
She chooses Ronnie, Curtis, and Scott.
I was off by one. I did not know that Ekin-su was on the same season as
Luca.
Sorry, see? I ain't do my homework.
Scott says that she has an aura. She's a confident woman.
Yeah.
And Ekin does tell him that she is pretty vulnerable deep down, and she wants to get to know everybody.
Do you believe her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think she has a vulnerable side, but I think that the more exciting side of Ekin-su is the side that's the dramatic side. And I think that is also who she is. So she can be all of those things.
She's all those things equally.
Yes.
Okay, I'm learning.
Elma wants to cry because what's the point of even sleeping in the same bed as Curtis if she's going to take him anyway? And she asks the guys, what do you guys want out of life, out of a partner? And Scott says, he wants a good woman. He feels like a good woman in your life won't hold you back. Ronnie says that he hasn't been with a woman before, just girls. That's what he needs to take him to the next level. And some men are, what did she say? Are basically like, they feel a type of way about a woman who is like strong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's basically like an independent woman, the whole thing about how they are basically insecure whenever.
Insecure, yeah.
Okay. That's the word.
Yes.
And Elma's with Ronnie, though.
Yes.
Okay. So she's feeling some type of way about.
No, Elma is with Ronnie. Yeah.
Yeah, Elma's with
Sorry
Ronnie.
about that.
So she feels the type of way like, what's the point of me being with Ronnie if I sleeping with him if he's over there in the secret garden? Okay, right. I'm following.
So Ekin wants a true connection. When the right person comes, she will make him the boss.
Yeah.
But Scott is a little bit nervous because she is a big character. She talks about how she would like to have kids in the next 5 years. Curtis wants kids as well. The girls are discussing how she slid into Scott's DMs. She is just dripping with sex appeal and she's flirtatious. Yeah. But they all tell each other it's going to be fine, but they are all shaking in their boots. Okay.
And I know, right?
Yes. All the guys are happy in their couples. Curtis doesn't plan to throw all of his eggs in one basket, though.
Ooh, that hurts.
So the girls are trying to eavesdrop on the conversation. Ekin tells the guys that she really doesn't have a type. She just wants a real man. Scott wonders how two high energy people would work, and she tells him, you never know till you try. Ekin does say that she's a girl's girl, but she knows what she wants. And Ronnie, he came across shy during the date. Scott was giving her the eye, but Curtis gave her like his full attention, which she noticed.
Oh, man.
She doesn't think that the guys know what's in store. Luca would put Scott and Ekin together out of everyone. And all Elma heard from eavesdropping was laughing, mainly from Scott.
Now, here's the thing. Who was leading the eavesdropping walk when everybody was doing the dun 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 dun, right?
I thought it was Cass.
It was Cass.
Yeah.
Right? And what did I say yesterday? If y'all didn't watch that, watch yesterday's episode. I said there's something pure about Cass.
Yeah.
Like that I feel like she's going to pick Curtis because she knows and she go dim Cass light a little bit. You get what I'm saying? And the fact that Cass is giving the full attention, I think because number one, he's very polite.
Curtis is giving full attention.
Curtis is giving his full attention because he's very polite. Ronnie is, I wouldn't say shy. I think her reputation precedes her.
Yes.
So everybody's trying to be on their P's and Q's to where Curtis came off as if he was genuinely like interested in what she was saying. And I think he's in danger. I ain't gonna hold you. I think there's a little. I think he may be going into this a little naive. You get what I'm saying? a little too like his head not on the swivel. You get what I'm saying?
Scott is taking this cautiously as he should.
Yes.
He's interested, but he's like, you're danger.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you, but I got to see you.
The correct way to take
the
it.
exact way to go about her.
Curtis like danger.
He's like, I'm just hanging out.
Like,
and Ronnie, I think Ronnie is a little bit intimidated just by her strong personality. I think he's used to women kind of being all over him, and the fact that he kind of gets girls who, I'm not going to say are like airheaded, but women that he doesn't have to do too much to impress. Yeah. So yeah.
Many times tonight, if you didn't watch last season of Love Island UK, you will see Ronnie basically sitting by himself, or basically chilling with the guys while the girls are basically beefing with each other over him.
Right.
So I don't know if this going to be basically a reoccurrence of the same, but I can see why you feel the same way you feel about Turbo.
Yes. So they all come out of the secret garden.
Yeah.
Curtis goes to Kaz and tells her, I think she's into Scott, and I think they will hit it off. He doesn't really know where he stands with her, but he'll leave it to Scott.
And I think he would being honest. I really don't think he was trying to lead her to deceive her, oh no, I think she's into Scott.
Even me, the whole episode, I thought that she was into Scott. They seem to click immediately, especially
since we heard about the DM. So I'm thinking oh, okay. So yeah, I get it.
So some of the girls are talking to Ekin and asking, specifically Gabby asked, "Well, what would you do if your ex came back in the house?" And for Ekin, she says it's in the past. It is what it is. Not something I'm going to go back down that road for.
Yeah.
When Ekin walks away, the girls talk and they are stressed, okay? Catherine tells them not to be confined to their couple. All the guys can tell that she hit it off with Scott. Scott learned that she has a soft side during the conversation, and he liked learning that about her.
That's nice.
Yeah. So Olivia and Luca have a chat. They're both happy to be in their couple to share a bed tonight. India and Scott. Scott likes the softer side of Ekin, but he is happy to be coupled with India.
Yeah.
He asked her what she's looking for, and she said, "Man, I want a husband and 4 kids." Okay.
Nice.
She hasn't settled down yet because of bad taste. He's always been in the friend zone, but India also says, and it's always been wild with you.
Yeah.
It's never really been chill, but he did recently get sober, and he tells her that he would date somebody who was not sober. He just wouldn't want to restrict anyone else, and he does enjoy going out to nice places and whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
She doesn't judge him for how he used to be, so she says.
Now, here's the thing. I actually enjoy, out of every conversation that was had tonight, I actually enjoyed this one the most.
It felt like a real conversation. Yeah.
Because Scott gave that answer, but it was privy because India asked that question. And I like the fact that she asked that question. For one, by asking the question, can you be with someone who's not sober like you are? That acknowledges his sobriety journey, respects it, and if she is, well, they are coupled up, but let's say if they are going to actually take it seriously, which you're not, right? I like the fact that she acknowledged that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if I believe that Scott believes that he's telling the truth, right? But you got to understand, this is not someone who is just choosing, I'm just not going to drink for a month. I'm not going to drink for 2 months and things like that. All of us, and when I say all of us, I'm not talking about us specifically, but I'm just talking about people who are not on that sobriety journey. Some of us may be like, we don't feel like drinking this weekend and things like that. Scott had to go on a sobriety journey.
Yeah.
So I think his journey is more intense.
His stakes are higher,
yes.
too.
So I don't know, even though I believe that he believes that, I don't think it's good for him to be like, oh yeah, I can be with someone who's not on my journey and things like that. I think the fact that India acknowledged the journey, I'm not saying that she will give up alcohol completely, but the fact that she acknowledged it, I think she would respect it. And I like them together, to be honest. Just off the second episode. So I really did like that conversation. But I think Scott needs to take his sobriety journey just a little bit more seriously.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Elma and Ronnie. So Ronnie says that it was a mature chat with Ekin, and Elma is comfortable with Ronnie. And honestly, I think Ronnie's comfortable with Elma. I think with Ekin, it would require him to talk more, to have actual dreams, goals, and visions.
Yeah.
Not that he doesn't, but he doesn't talk about them. I think that Ronnie just likes to vibe. And I think that Elma will allow Ronnie to vibe.
But this goes to your point, though, of how he likes airheaded type of women, if we was to put a category to it.
Yeah.
Elma in the first episode, she was over here. It was Showtime at the Apollo, laughing at all his jokes. Ronnie is so funny. You know what I mean? I never heard Ronnie to be funny. I heard him to be chill.
Yeah.
But like Ronnie is so funny, and now she's over here basically saying like, I'm very comfortable with you. It's the first night. Right, that you've been coupled. It haven't even been the first night. It's been the first 30 minutes to an hour that y'all been coupled together. I heard you say over there, what's the point of a bombshell coming in when we just got our couples talking about Ronnie, right? It's giving Joey and Samantha to me. Right? Meaning that when Joey came in, Samantha already built this life, already built this idea of them being a couple, right? I think Elma is doing the same thing with Ronnie, which would lead Ronnie back to go back to his basically old ways of, hey, she like me for both of us. Like basically like Elma is into the relationship for both of us and I could just lay back and be chill, compared to your analysis of why he wouldn't be good with Ekin.
Yep.
Because she would require him to talk and to actually try. And she's like, listen here, you ain't the prize. We both hold weight in this relationship.
Exactly.
To where Elma's like, I'm happy to be with you, Ronnie.
So we get to Catherine and Naz. This is strictly a friendship couple. There is no sparks flying between them.
Catherine, I'm sorry, Catherine.
And they're both talking about how it's been a lot being back. She doesn't see any red flags between Naz or Curtis. They just seem less likely to do bad.
Yeah.
They also were both in long-term stable relationships. And Naz says that he has grown as a person. His last relationship was with who he met on Love Island, and that lasted for 4 years.
Wow.
But she hasn't been in a relationship in a long time.
Ooh, that I think to me that's a red flag in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think like if you haven't been in a relationship in a long time, that means you haven't had to commit to a long time in a while to a person and like adjust.
I don't know why, but I just feel differently. I feel like between men and women, I feel like with women, it can be harder to get into serious commitments.
That's fair.
And I feel like guys, depending on who you're dealing with, like to have situationships. And I think just this day and age, I think that it's up to, not necessarily it's up to a guy to commit, but a lot of the times the guy is the one who's holding up the relationship from going any further. So I see it differently for her.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
Now this just reminds me of Mimi and Monvier when basically when they was paired together.
At least they seem to be enjoying each other a little bit better than Mimi and Monvier. Mimi barely wanted to talk to the man.
Well, Mimi didn't want to barely talk to the person she liked either.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? So like, so Mimi's not a talkative person.
That is true.
With this one, I see her just being polite, but I remember the face she made when them two was paired together. Basically, the people who voted for them to be together, y'all didn't want good for her. Y'all know them two was not going to be together and not going to stay together and things like that. So I'm very interested to see who Catherine will be with next.
Exactly.
Naz.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, bro. I think you may be too nice for the show, to be honest.
So we get to Marcel and Gabby, and he thinks that she deserves to be happy, have fun in her experience here.
Boy.
They never thought that they would end up sharing a bed together again, but Marcel feels better just by being able to say what he should have said back then now. And he gets a little bit like emotional when he says that. He feels like he needs to start to move on when it comes from, getting a divorce. He hasn't dated anyone in a year. But he was unhappy and knew that he couldn't continue that relationship. And this show, he says, is his actual first time dating since being out of his marriage.
What are your thoughts on just them two?
I think that Marcel is really looking at this experience as a fresh start. Learning more about that than I do feel like possibly he learned his lesson because it was done to him. Maybe he would hold somebody's heart and a little bit more gently than he did before. And even with him apologizing to Gabby, I think he means it. I think with him hurting the way that he probably hurt from what his wife did to him, I think that he's understanding now, which he probably didn't even understand back then, how much it really did hurt her. So that's what I'm choosing to believe until he shows me anything differently, because that's what he's showing at this point. But I also do feel like Gabby, he don't want you, girl. And Gabby's sitting up here trying to be like, I'm trying not to slip back into old. He don't want it. There's no slipping back because ain't nothing there. So I'm like, Gabby, move forward and experience something new, because Marcel is definitely going to do that.
And this is where, as a man, it becomes a little difficult, right? How can I apologize, which I'm sure he did already, when cheating on Gabby, but now he can actually give a real apology because he felt the pain of it.
Yeah, the weight of it.
On a more public scale.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So now that he's been cheated on by his wife, and they got a kid with a rapper, you get what I'm saying? I think he can actually give a genuine apology to Gabby, which he did.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with that is, how can I be genuinely sorry while at the same time genuinely don't want to be with you? While at the same time genuinely not, like, I want to be sorry, but I don't want to give you any idea that I want to replay this relationship.
But I feel like that's a real thing. I
but
think that
it is. But as you can see,
you could be sorry, but not want to.
But as you can see, Gabby's the only one talking about old feelings.
That's true.
But by him actually giving a genuine apology, he haven't talked about anything about I want to try again. I'm having old feelings. He just basically talking about like, I'm sorry that this has happened. I'm sorry we're paired together and things of that nature. Meanwhile, whenever she's with the girl, she's like it's just so comfortable being with him. It's like it's just back to normal. And I'm like, how can I be? It's better. Take this with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Right? Take it with a pinch of salt. It's better if you just view me in the way you did before without getting that closure, because it is a comfortable feeling, because you really did like me and we really was in a real relationship. You may end up slipping back into that relationship. I'm not saying that like Marcel should be mean to her, but I think he should beware and be cautious of her falling into old habits, as she was talking about in this episode, because now she can actually get that closure. And the danger with that is she may actually say, you know what, you are kind of different now, Marcel. No, he ain't different. He's divorced. You get what I'm saying? He's hurting. And now he can actually feel the empathy of what he did to you. And now, Gabby, I say move on. Let it go. Even though y'all paired together, you let it go. Stop talking about it.
Yeah. So Ekin, this is when everybody is, in the bed. She is turning and asks Curtis if he sleeps naked. She's on the other side in a separate bed, and Kaz tells her, I'm watching you, girl.
Was it Curtis she asked?
Yeah, it was Curtis, because Kaz was the one who came around.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So it's the next day. India says that she and Scott didn't really cuddle much last night. Scott says that they just had a good chat, the night before.
Now, if you got paired with somebody on the first night of the show, are you gonna cuddle?
It depends on the connection. Like if we talked, if there's a vibe there, then I would cuddle. If there's not, then I would definitely be on my side of the bed.
Okay.
If I was in a Catherine and Naz situation, I mean,
okay. You sleeping outside? Like
I'm not sleeping outside, but I'm sleeping on my side.
Socks on and everything. I'm gonna cuddle the first night.
No matter who?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna cuddle the first night.
Why?
Because I'm on Love Island.
Okay.
like stop it. Like I'm on Love Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Curtis brings Kaz her coffee. Gabby is saying that it's comforting to have Marcel here. It's hard not to slip into things because it's so familiar.
You see what I mean?
Today she plans to speak to other people. She kind of wants to get out of that comfort zone. She feels like there is this mutual weight lifted between the both of them, and they don't want to ruin each other's time here. And I feel like good, keep it there.
Yeah.
Keep it right where you have it. You're moving on the right path, Gabby.
You right.
Marcel talks about how they were both on their own sides of the bed. There was no cuddling, nothing going on. India thinks that Scott will get taken away by Ekin-su. Luca is on her radar, even though she thought he was too young and gave him the red flag before. So, Chris, our oracle.
How about to say, I am.
If I gave you a red flag, at least I noticed you.
Listen here, man. It's better. Listen here. It's better to just make somebody feel something. I had people tell me I hate you. And the next thing you know,
it's a compromising position. They found him something.
I said, at least I make you feel something. You know what I mean?
I think I made him feel something.
Make him feel good. Make him feel good. You know what I mean? Like, no. But it's facts.
Okay.
But I'm saying it's true. But that was my past.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Long time ago.
You're a married man.
Yes, but I'm saying, as I said yesterday, yes. I am the oracle of UK,
yes.
right? And of Love Island, at least. I said it's better to get a red flag from somebody than you just end up like Nas.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? A nice guy who last relationship lasted 4 years. I would say, why did y'all get married?
Yeah.
Like, y'all been together for too long for y'all to start over. So, yeah, I agree 100%.
Mm-hmm. So, we've got Ronnie and Ekin. He's talking about how he likes baklava. I like baklava, too.
Mm-hmm.
His favorite food is Turkish. And as we know, Ekin is Turkish. And she's basically the conversation gets to her saying, you have to taste me to find out how that Turkish delight tastes. But they're both sexual people, and he finds her intriguing. So, Ekin, that's what I'm saying. Ekin definitely oozes sexy.
Yeah, like, here's the thing, right? You know, y'all see my wife, so like y'all know who and what I'm into, right? But I will say I wouldn't put Ekin in the beautiful category. There are some people who are like pretty, like for example, I think Cass is very beautiful. Yeah, right. Cass is very beautiful.
Face card, like
yes, like she's very beautiful. Yeah, but I can see Ekin being more sexy than the actual like beautiful part,
because it's like her essence.
Yeah, it's an energy. So I could be like, oh, she's sexy, but I wouldn't like put her like in a model or like on a cover of a magazine or something like that. To me.
Gotcha.
I put Cass on the face card. You get what I'm saying?
So Curtis and Ekin chat. She noticed that he was a good listener and has good eye contact. He said it's just respect. They both find each other attractive. They talk about how he has had 3 different girlfriends, but he really doesn't have a type. One was blonde, one was brunette, one was ginger, and neither does she. She's been in 6 serious relationships, and they all have been very different. I will say, Davide was who she connected with on Love Island of her last season. They were hot fire together. Really? It was just a good looking, just really sexy, scrumptious couple.
What happened?
He was an Italian man. They were just, I think maybe they were both just so like fiery that I think that they just burned each other out. Wow. Like I'm just like, it was like
that is I feel for
igniting.
Us.
Like,
you know what I mean? That we just gonna burn each other out.
Don't get these people coming at us because we think we on their level.
You better not say nothing about my wife. I know that much.
But you can
say everything about me. Don't say nothing about my wife.
That cup, like they like, if you think about like romance covers of books, like both of them was just like.
Really?
just hot fire.
And that's the thing about Curtis. I think you're going in a little naivete.
Yeah.
Right? He just over here like, I'm just listening.
Like I'm just looking at you.
Like she's giving him, which kind of lets me know, like, because she was kind of like, I've been with this guy. He was like, well, you about to run out of fingers. And I think what she is giving him credit for, he's always been. So it don't stick out like.
Yeah, he's like, I'm just being normal.
Like, what do you mean I'm a good listener? Like, you're talking. Like, that's what you're supposed to do when somebody else is talking.
Yeah.
And I think she likes him because it takes her back. Usually, whenever you're with somebody, or put it like this, you tell me all the time there's piss in the pool.
Absolutely.
And like the dating pool, right? Right. And I'm sure y'all agree, right?
And turds.
Yes. And maybe a body. Right. Right. So. When you've been through a lot, as she's talking about, she said since university and things like that, I think when you kind of find someone who do the small fundamental things just as listening, it kind of take you back to like, oh, like I have a crush on you. Like I think she has a crush on Curtis, right? I don't think it's so much of like, oh, like I am into you and things like that. I think she have a crush as in like it's innocent. It's there's an innocent, like I am really intrigued about you. It's very innocent. It's nothing like, oh, you're good looking and I'm just good looking and let's just smash and let's just be together. But it's like you're really pure.
I see it. Like she looks at him like you're sweet.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And like she might just need some niceness right
now. Watch this, because what I've been through, I deserve niceness.
Right.
I deserve somebody to treat me sweet and things of that nature. And that's why I'm like, this is usually how drama starts. Because hopefully Curtis is the man that he say he is, and hopefully she is the woman that she's trying to be. You know what I'm saying? And don't burn him up. And the thing about it, she can put him on a pedestal so high that it just gonna be hard for him to reach. But so far I'm at this moment, I still was leaning towards Scott.
Same. Well, Luca and Elma chat. Yeah. She was interested in Ronnie at first, but she is fancying Luca. He's a little bit young. He's 25. But for her, it's not so much about age, just someone who's on the same vibe as her. She talks about how she works really hard. Yeah. Luca does not tell us he works very hard.
No, he's like, I'm on Love Island.
And at this point, she really doesn't know who she would want.
Yeah.
Scott and Ekin chat, and Ekin tells him, "You're the male version of me." He agrees. He would like to get to know her, but he tells her, look, India has like a calming, soothing presence because of the familiarity, but Ekin would be considered a risk to him.
Yeah.
He has to come out of his comfort zone. And Ekin tells him, don't be too closed off. Don't be scary. Don't be afraid. She wants to love and to give love to somebody. And he sees that there are layers to her.
What are your thoughts on that? I have a theory with that, which gonna connect us to another show of ours.
I think that there are layers to Ekin, but I think that Ekin is showing what she wants to show right now. Ekin, there is multiple sides of her, and I think that Ekin, she's also an actress, and I think that she likes to stir things up for the camera sometimes.
Basically, like, who am I gonna be today?
Not who am I going to be, but basically like, can I be a little dramatic? Can I mess someone's situation up?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just kind of that type of thing. So I hear what she's saying, but Scott is correct to be cautious.
Okay. Now, we do a show called, what is it called? Love After Lockup. But like, they call it a whole bunch of things.
Love during lockup.
Love during lockup, love after, all the above, right? They just be locked up and in love, right? And there's a woman on there who's on her sobriety journey, but she keeps sleeping with her ex-husband, right? Even though she's in a committed relationship with this guy in jail. Now, the reason why I said she keeps sleeping with this ex-husband, because I think that she gets a rush that she usually gets from alcohol by going and being with this ex-husband of hers.
Gotcha.
I see Scott the same way, right? Because he kind of said it, but, you know, in real different terms. He said India's calm. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, I'm on my sobriety journey. I know if I'm with India or someone with the vibes of India, I can stay focused. I'm going to be in my sobriety journey. Right now, my sobriety journey is easy, you know? But if I get with you, you may want me, or rather, I may miss that rush. You get what I'm saying? That rush that I get from alcohol, and you may be my new vice. And I don't want to burn up that fast or burn up in that way. And that's what I got from that conversation. I got the conversation of the reason why Scott is cautious towards Ekin is because he knows how I think he missed that rush a little bit, but he know that rush ain't good for him.
Yep.
And he's like, you know what? India, you get what I'm saying? Or just not you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Based on what I know about you. So I think with him, he's like, I'm not going to turn to alcohol, but you are the second worst thing that can burn me up really fast. No offense, but that's what I got from it. And let me know what y'all think about that.
So Gabby fancies Luca, and she tells us she's not here to get back with her ex.
Yeah.
India tells her, look, don't rule out Luca just because he's young. Give it a chance. Ekin decides to steal Curtis.
Wow. Now it's funny because while I was watching with my wife, when they got the test, when like it's time to choose, I said she go choose Scott. And right before she said a name, I said Curtis. I changed it to Curtis last minute.
Yeah.
So I'm still the Oracle, right?
Yeah.
And I felt bad for Cass.
Cass's face was down, her eyes were down, and I was like, pick your head up, queen.
Because Curtis was polite. He came over smiling like, oh, what thank you.
But then he's smiling all of her face.
Yeah, he was.
So a new bombshell walks in. It is Casey. He has been on here 2 other times before, so this is his 3rd time. Yeah. Curtis is all in Ekin's face talking about, I thought you was going to choose Scott.
Okay, Curtis.
But I think Cass was just in her feelings. Yeah. Even though like she heard about Curtis before, she didn't have to say nothing. But she was like, I heard that you get a lot of girls and you're a player.
Talk about Casey.
Yeah. And Casey says, well, look, I've never effed over a girl on the show. And Cass is like, I know you're a player. You know, you messed with one of my friends. And Casey says that's what you heard from other people, but you saying all this in front of everybody else. And they're getting a little bit heated in their conversation. And I'm like, Cass, don't take your anger out on this man. Chill out.
Especially since you're single.
Yeah.
I think she just feeling like, I know what's going to happen whenever whoever's single who don't have a couple.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it looks like you're not going to be with Casey because you yelled at him as soon as he came downstairs.
Exactly.
They said, you cheated on my friend Georgia or like whatever her name was. And I was like, like, let him breathe a little bit. But let us know what y'all thought about this episode, what y'all see, any background that I need to do some homework on. Let me know, put it in the comments. What was your overall thoughts of this episode?
Overall, it was good. I was glad that they didn't leave us on a cliffhanger with who she was going to steal. And I'm interested to see how Casey's going to shake up the party. He seems like a character as well.
Yeah, he seemed a lot of characteristics. You know what I mean? Y'all be good. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see you tomorrow.
Bye.